You just say the word and I'll make the preparations. So, the word. So I'm going to claim the Stronghold. The upkeep for the Stronghold requires 509 manpower, which is the resource I've been continuously alluding to and talking a bit about when I talk about utility. I have 509 because of Bato. Bato is an incredible manpower source, and we're going to find out more about that once I claim the Stronghold. My band is currently composed of 4 people. I can have up to 6. I now own this as a Stronghold, and it has changed to reflect that here. I can move my Stronghold as often as I want. Now, talking to people as they gain levels is a good way to develop a bond with them. Not talking to them after extended periods of time will cause them to dislike you more. So that just means I have to keep coming up to them and talking to them, and they'll say the exact same thing. I'll try to go a little slowly so you can read their text. Unless you've seen it before with me. Alright, so I'm going to try to develop a bond with everybody. Now, I currently have 2 vacant spots. I can hire any one of these for 100 manpower. Although Quartermaster's recommended first, I'm going to try something different just for the heck of it. I'm going to try bringing in an appraiser just so I can sell my crap. Now, this is the amount of manpower I'm getting per person. Bran is giving me 66 because his second highest skill is 66. Moira's second highest skill is Hunt, 56. Leario is his highest... Wait, I thought his highest was 50 thwart or something. 70 thwart, I don't know. And Bato is 338 because of his massive labor bonus. Let's check out Leario real fast. Yeah, it's thwart 70. Oh yeah, it's squared. That's right, squared. I said squared. So he's neutral, so it says utility skill squared. His utility skill is 7. I could tell that because his weave is 7. So 7 times 7 is 49. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's 49. Now, I'm hiring an appraiser. The next time I get experience, an appraiser will be here. I can sell my crap. For now, let's go and put my things down, and that way I can get more loot in the next area I go to, wherever that might be. Then I'll pawn off these things and get a higher quartermaster. Now, one thing... Hold on. Alright. Yeah, one thing to notice is this is the Knightswood copse. If I said that right, but you'll see on the map, it's Knightswood. Don't let that throw you off. The reason I mention that is because if you're ever doing like a find in an FAQ or anything, you'll just probably want to go with Knight instead of Knightswood or Knightwood. Knightwood's west covers like this entire region, and right now you don't see anything. But there's going to be a lot of little dungeons and maps around here, so each one of these is going to be a unique map, which makes this really cool. Because every battle every area you go to is its own little unique experience or story. Now, I don't know if there's a bonus for charging through. What I mean by that is, like, I could go, there's guys here and guys here. If I go and kill one and leave, and go and come back and kill another and leave, I think I still get the same amount of experience as if I killed them all at the same time. So, if I have to, I'm going to exit and heal. Now, poison will pretty much negate my ability to heal with defense. Every time my turn ends, I will end up taking poison damage. It's probably just gonna make me fumble. Yeah. Alright, let's just... I don't know. I think taking one actual move, which increases risk by a moderate amount, is better than standing by a lot doing nothing. God, you too strong! Maybe I should have had Sahag win. You no take! No take! Alright, so if I charged right down the road, I would have gotten hit by all those guys at once. As it is, I kill each one at a time for 10% XP each. No, to secure a map, you have to finish exploring it. Like this red area, it has to be cleared away. So I've cleared this side. You don't actually have to exit. You don't actually have to exit out the other end, which is right over there. Now take note of these three creatures right here. I wanted to save this for now, but just to make sure I was pretty good shape. You should be able to get a minimum of 2 attacks each. One risk move and then one cautious move, but if you keep going risk, of course you'll get more hits. Watto can take a pretty good hit. Moira maybe not, so I'm going to make her do a cautious hit. Bran can definitely take a hit, so I'm going to make him do a hit to take his risk. I got the Daredevil bonus. Watto does not. Lero is just so weak, I'm kind of hesitant to bring him out to the front. Looks like someone didn't fare too well against the bear. The remains are old, dry, and thoroughly chewed on, but between the bones you manage to spy a small metallic object. Alright, so note that there's a sparkly thing here, but first I want to go check out this mushroom patch. The garden is overrun with mushrooms. They are large and plump, but it's possible to tell whether or not they are edible. So I can't do anything with them. But, like the fireplace and the first map that allowed you to search the wood, there are some notes scrawled here making reference to how to best grow mushrooms for food. Now let's take a look. You pick one of the many mushrooms growing here. You pick one of the many mushrooms growing here. You pick one of the many mushrooms growing here. You pick one of the many mushrooms growing here. You pick one of them. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. The chest is locked, but you decide to try the key you found on the corpse. Got a bow. I'm gonna leave it on her. Alright, I'm done here. There's one last thing to show you. Other than this being an exit as well. By the way, you can't exit the map if your people are split up. So those three things I showed you earlier are Spriggans, and they will probably kick my butt if I do this, so I'm not going to. I might come back later though. As long as I come back before the map refreshes, I should still be able to fight the Spriggans. There's a small shrine here with writing carved into the lid. It reads, "This shrine keeps my wards active and my home safe. Please do not disturb it." I can disturb the shrine or leave it alone. If I disturb it, I can fight the Spriggans and get an emerald. I'm just gonna leave it alone. You decide to leave the shrine in peace. So I have a handsome 150% XP available to me, so... My characters will be leveling up pretty fast because the enemies will be set to my leader's level rather than my average party size level. I don't know if I really need to worry about manpower for my main character. I think I just need to focus on what's good for fighting for him. Alright, you are extremely fragile. Maybe I should... Oh wait, I haven't unlocked it yet. There's a shrine where you can spend 1,000 gold to re-skill someone. Back to level 1, by the way. He's in neutral, so it's to be his utility squared. Which means, for example, the points I get from here from Thor will not affect him at all for manpower purposes. If I boost him up to 120, he'll double my manpower. Again, I can also dismiss him and replace him with someone else later down the line too. So my manpower will be 9 times 9 regardless of whether I put in weave or labor or thwart. So I'm gonna try to reach for 120 with him, I guess. I'm really not using him for battle right now as it is, so. Alright, let's go back to the Stronghold. I guess I can't sell anything without a quartermaster. Well, I have enough manpower, so I can do that, but I thought I might... I was... Alright, fine. Okay. Yeah, so my stronghold is full, by the way. So if I met a unique NPC, I would not be able to hire them. I'd just lose them. So if I did that, I would load the game. I want to collect them all. I'm gonna go and save now, so that if I did run into one, I could load. I can't load a save that doesn't exist. So now I can reach my first branching point. I don't know much about Raptor Gate. I think you need some sort of item to get through it. Fundaments Shrine is a kind of a tutorial session. I'll go through it. Basically, it talks about the elements. Of importance is this shrine right here. This thing will cost you 1,000 gold to use. To sacrifice everything to begin the struggle anew is to appreciate one's life anew. This will allow you to just reskill your character. Some enemies have auras that will adversely affect creatures around them. Auras are indiscriminate, keep that in mind people, and apply to allies and enemies equally, so they can be difficult to manage. Violent auras are obvious and cause damage to nearby creatures. Unsettling auras cause nearby creatures to accumulate risk. Nightmarish and alluring auras have the same as an unsettling one. Your best bet when dealing with auras is to maintain a little distance. Some who are truly devoted can achieve brief states of invulnerability. Invulnerability cannot be brought down until it expires after one full round. Note that invulnerability does not prevent damage from poison or equipment with the wasting trait. Reckless attacks can guarantee extra actions as battle, but reckless actions piles on more risk. Risk can cause actions to fail, forcing you to fumble. All incoming damage is increased by 50% while suffering from a fumble. If you're unlucky, one solid hit could easily kill a fumbling character outright. The key is to minimize your own chance of fumbling while taking advantage of enemy fumbles. Normal actions end your turn, but they are not subject to risk, so they are best used to cap off a chain of reckless actions. If you are possible, however, to fully maximize your risk without fumbling, you will enjoy all the benefits of defensive stance as well as a large bonus to the party's experience award. An enemy who realizes the fight is going poorly may sometimes hesitate. It provides an excellent opportunity to end the combat through negotiation. You may release the hesitating enemy from combat outright, or if you share common language, you may demand an item as ransom or attempt to press the creature into joining you. Some creatures may offer items you may find difficult to acquire elsewhere, and some creatures make powerful allies with powers no human or orc can duplicate. What's more, negotiation yields the same amount of experience that you would gain by slaying the creature. I think that's great, by the way. There are no guarantees of success, however, and of course, if you prefer straightforward violence, you can still use an attack against a hesitating enemy. Defending yourself in combat can greatly improve your odds of survival. All damage will be reduced by half while you remain in defensive stance. Everyone can defend, but defensive stance can be further improved with many skills. Putting points into defensive specializations grants extra hit points as well, so don't forget to invest a little effort. Okay, yeah, these are target dummies. You'll see in a second. There are various traits that indicate a connection with one of the pure veins. These are the elements, essentially. A trait such as Lux-align or Rex-align indicates that the creature is resistant to that particular vein. They are aligned to Lux. That's what it means. And vulnerable to the veins opposites. So if you are Lux-aligned, you'll be vulnerable to Rex. Multiple alignments are cumulative and can exacerbate or cancel one another. A trait such as Pox Mana or Nyx Mana is usually reserved for equipment, indicating that the user will be able to cast a pure vein spell instead of Arcus, which is your default spell. Using multiple mana sources results in a collapse back to Arcus. A trait such as Max Soul or Lux Soul combines the efforts of Align and the mana trait. So that's both of them at once. And that's the soul part. Max and Lux are elements. Indicating both the creature's resistance and their natural ability to cast pure vein spells when others would normally cast Arcus. Someone with a soul trait can still use another pure vein if they have an appropriate mana focus. I can tell you right now, I don't know much of anything about magic. It seems like it's difficult to get into, just to understand, but it's probably a lot simpler than it makes it sound. Alright, so each one of these is an element that we can take a look at, but first I'm going to go over here to alignments. Different from a magical alignment, which are these things here, personal alignment falls into one of three ranges: lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Alignment comes into play in two major ways. The first is to determine your band's manpower. It is essential to keep manpower up if you expect to recruit more people, claim better strongholds, and retain many services. Bandmates all contribute to manpower in slightly different ways depending on their alignment. For most people, putting points into utility-based traits is the best way to improve contributions. These traits yield many useful skills. Chaotic people don't much care to be made into workhorses. They will contribute to manpower whether they have utilitarian skills or not, but they will do so in their own way. Note that chaotic people will never reduce their manpower contributions, so don't worry that their whims will leave you short-staffed in a pinch. The second way alignment comes into play is determining camaraderie. Any combatant who has a bandmate of the same alignment in the party will be more likely to succeed when risk is high. So I've got 2 chaotic, 1 law, and 1 neutral, so these 2 will never get the camaraderie bonus right now. If someone in the party is the only representative of their alignment, they miss out. Okay, let's look at Arcus first. Actually, that's the basic one. Arcus is the null vein. Basic. It is the simplest form of impure magic and also the most flexible. If you learn to use blast magic, you will almost certainly begin by using Arcus. There are no creatures whose souls embody Arcus, so it is moderately effective against any opponent. At higher levels, the ability Imarcus can allow a blaster to heal allies at a great distance, and the truly powerful can learn Arximum, which allows the blaster to attack entire groups of foes all at once. There may be times, however, when you find that one of the 5 pure veins is more effective against a particular foe. There exist focusing items that can refine the mana of one's blast into a pure form, and this allows access to curses and boons unique to the pure vein. That's a lot of words to say that you have curses and good things with an element. So you will see what those are in a second here. Remember that Arcus exists in a space between pure veins. Attempting to combine veins of magic will always result in Arcus. So if I combine this poison thing with fire, I will end up with Arcus. Alright, let's just try fire. Well, it's really called Max. I just picked Steady Fire because it's red. Max is the violent vein. It is raw power and overwhelming, indiscriminate destruction. Those affected by pain. So this is the Maxic curse. So this is the bad thing of Maxis. And what I mean by that is everything has a boon and a malice. So like, let's say you were playing a video game with water as an element, and water could have a good side effect or a bad ailment, whichever side you decided to cast. You wanted to cast a special power up, or you wanted to cast a power down. Power up might be protection. Power down might be poison. See, so in this case, the Maxic, which is the violent vein, its malice or its curse is pain. You take more damage and are resistant to healing. The bonus of Maxic, however, is that you stagger your foes with force, mounting their enemy's risk and forcing the careless to fumble. So basically, you're making them more likely to fumble. It is growth. Rex is the verdant vein. It is growth, energy, and life. Hold on. I'll be back to this in a second. I've got a jet for right now. Alright, let me exit and save so I can exit out the game entirely. Alright, let's go ahead and resume that. So we were last on this tree right here. Rex is the verdant vein, it is life. The malice is entanglement. It limits your ability to move and ability to dodge. The boon is vigor. It gives you more strength. Pox is entropy. It is decay. Its poison will slowly kill you, draining your life away. Its bonus is cloaking you, allowing you to avoid attacks and magic more easily. Nyx is the variant vein. It's the power of shapeshifters. Those under the curse will be torn apart more easily by magic, so it's like the pain version of magic. The bonus is allowing you to inflict more damage against enemies. So what that means is, for example, if I had this active on a character and I targeted an ally, I would be able to hurt other enemies with my magic better than I had before. This is a segment from later on. While editing, I saw that I had skipped this element right here. Lux. Lux is the vibrant vein. It is radiance, judgment. The Lux curse, the bad thing about it is daze. Enemies who are dazed will miss more often. If you cast Lux on one of your allies, you will hit more often. Now these, I think, will be easier for me to remember by associating them with the color. So like, for example, white, green, red, black, blue, and this is just neutral. The guide, Grimnir's guide, actually uses Magic the Gathering mana icons for this. So I would assume that this would be colorless then as the comparison. When associating that way, you can see that it says here, those aligned with Pox or Max. Now Pox is black, and Max is red. So the things on the opposite sides of it are the ones that take more damage. So if I were to find, say, a creature that is made of Max or Pox, or aligned with those two things, they will take more damage if I cast Lux spells at them. I've already covered that one. Alright, so that's pretty much the entire section about magic and status effects. If you didn't get it all right now, you will see more of it as the game progresses.